Okay, good morning, everybody. I want to tell a story. This is a true story. It's not fake news. This is real news. It just happened a long time ago to me. So, all right, let me go all the way back to third grade. My mom had gotten remarried, and we were moved into a new house, new to us, and I hadn't been there very long. And I think it was before Christmas. I don't know, maybe like November. But we had all Christmas stuff out, Christmas candies, and just things. It was all Christmassy. So, one Friday night, my brother went and spent the night with my grandma, which was a blessing in disguise, because I think he literally would have lost his mind at this point in his childhood if he would have been there. To me, it set me on a journey for the rest of my life. I know it. So anyway, one night, it was Friday night, all of a sudden there was knocking going on in the house, like all these weird knockings and knocking on walls and all this stuff. And so one of my brother and stepbrothers, he was yelling for everybody, like, get up, get up, get up, that kind of thing. And so I got up. My mom got up, my stepdad didn't, and my other stepbrother didn't. Well, eventually they did, but when we got up, we're like, what's happening? And he's like, there's some crazy stuff happening in this house. Well, that same stepbrother, Steve, had a friend with him that we had never met, and he was laughing uncontrollably. I don't know if it was that kid. These were high schoolers. At the time, they were high schoolers. So I don't know if that was that kid doing this paranormal stuff somehow. Or we also had a neighbor that died literally the day before that. And he wasn't a nice guy. Like, I remember that. Like, we couldn't get in his yard. He would yell at us and all this stuff. So I don't know what happened. But all I know was stuff was happening. And it was insane. It literally was the craziest thing. So we had candies that would fly out of a glass candy dish. Like those old-timey sugar candies, hard candies that were like spiced flavored. You know what I'm talking about. They were like real pretty and dainty, and some of them had powdered sugar on them, but they were all like spicy gumdrop flavored. They were flying all over the house, and literally from like in different rooms. They would end up like you would find them in the bathroom, which was like 2 or 3 rooms away. They were flying everywhere. Magnets were flying off of the refrigerator. Also, we had, when my other stepbrother woke up, he come out of his bedroom. He was mad. He was really upset that we woke him up for whatever, for some joke. He thought it was a joke. And he was mad, and he was like, whatever, running his mouth. And before he could turn around and go back to his bedroom, he had this great big candy cane, like the ones that are like 12 inches long and like an inch thick. He had one of those that was in his bedroom, like on his dresser, fly out of his bedroom from the back of the house all the way into the dining room where we were, and hit him in his back. And it left a huge welt. It hit him hard and then just fell on the ground and broke. So that happened, and it freaked everybody out when that happened, because it was like very violent. And then all the while, this weird boy was just laughing and freaking everybody out. So my mom ended up taking that kid home because she didn't know what else to do. She took that boy home, which he lived really close. She got back. Things were still happening. It wasn't necessarily him, and if it was him, he left, whatever. So things kept happening. We had like this room that was converted from a garage into it had a pool table and a CB radio and stuff all in it, 8-track tape. This was like when I was in 8th grade, so and it was just like the teenage hangout room. Well, because it had a concrete floor, because it was an old garage, you could hear the desk scooting across, like moving. This was a heavy wooden desk, scooting across the floor, moving things in that room. We wouldn't go in there. And also, my stepbrother that had, the oldest stepbrother that had the candy cane hit him, he had these pencils printed that said, Rusty loves Kim. So that was like a big thing back then, to have these pencils printed with whatever you wanted on it. And they were the squared off pencils, like a stop sign shape versus round. So they don't normally roll. Well, they were rolling off of the counter one by one and breaking before they hit the ground. Yes, this was insane. This happened for a couple hours. We were hearing noises, candies flying, magnets flying, pencils flying. It was wild. So we all ended up in my mom's bedroom reading the Bible, and things stopped. They finally stopped. And that was it. That was it. That was one night in my 3rd grade little 9-year-old memory bank that will never, ever, ever go away. I've never experienced anything like that since, but I've always been into the paranormal ever since, because you can't tell me it's not real. I don't know what happened, but something incredible happened. That's why I was also very glad that my brother was not there, because he was way more afraid of things than me. Like, I was always curious, but that scared me so bad for years. I mean, for years. I couldn't sleep alone, you know. That was awful. But I've had a couple other paranormal experiences since then, but nothing like that. Nothing that felt evil. And there's my story from, let's see, 40 years ago. That was a 40-year-old story, but it's burned in my memory like it happened yesterday. All right, just thought I'd share it. Peace.